Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today we discuss the second generation Omega Speedmaster 57. The first came out in 2013. This variant, part of a trio of colorful dial steel chronographs, launched in 2022 as the second series of the vintage-inspired modern Speedmaster 57. The biggest changes, well, size and the movement. It's smaller than the previous watch, and the movement is now manual wind to yield a thinner case. 40.5 millimeters in diameter. It's 13.3 millimeters thick. From lug to lug, 49.4 millimeters with a 20 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. Throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. And it wears nicely. It is large though, so I'm going to recommend you wear this watch on a wrist no smaller than mine. We'll zoom out a little bit, give you some better perspective. This fits fine on a wrist my size, but if your wrist is smaller than mine, you're going to want to find a smaller Omega Speedmaster. Taking a look at what we've got, we have a relatively thick profile, though thinner than before. We have this overlap of the bezel, which means if we do the cuff shot, it's probably going to get caught up on tight dress sleeves, but probably be fine with the jacket cuff. The strap's lovely. You can see it's a bit of a gradient green in calfskin, has some gloss to it, a contrasting binding stitch. You can see the edge is a folded profile, and then we have calfskin on the bottom. Note that it is a bonded strap, so there's no stitching. That keeps it seamless and clean, giving it a very minimalist and elegant aesthetic. We also have a contrasting stitch at the end, and no crimping, no gouging. Brand new Omega factory strap. We have a simple polished, satinated, and media blasted, yes, triple finished pin buckle right here. No lyre style lugs, vintage inspired. The Speedmaster 57, inspired by the original CK2915, the 1957 Speedmaster. It was the first. Push down crown, 50-meter water resistance. You can see we've got a dramatically boxed sapphire designed to look like a vintage plexi. We have a sort of vintage aesthetic on the bezel, including the ./90 tachymetric scale, which can be used to gauge the speed of an object, such as a race car over a kilometer. Applique indices and Omega logo. You can see there's no shortage of luminescence on this dial. And we have a twin register design, but if you look very closely over at 3 o'clock, it's actually a mono counter with coaxial hands, so both chronograph minutes and hours live on that one display, giving it a cleaner, vintage-like two-register design. Of course, we also have subsidiary setting modes. We have stop seconds or hacking, and then we also have a time zone function that allows you to move the hour hand independently of the rest of the dial without stopping the watch or halting the chronograph, and so you can change your time zone as you travel. You can even roll the date forward or backwards depending on which direction you are traveling. Vintage inspired broad arrow hour hand right there. You can see there's an azurage or concentric pattern inside these dished two-tone registers. Turn it all over. Of course, I promised you a manual wind movement. Now here it is. So this is the 9906, and it's still twin barrel, 60-hour power reserve. It is free-sprung with a full balance bridge for shock resistance. The free-sprung balance also allowing for very precise adjustment. To that end, it features a master chronometer certification. So it is everything that COSC is, but then it goes beyond. Tested in 6 positions as a fully cased watch. Chronometry is tested, but so is anti-magnetism, durability, water resistance, and power reserve. It is a complete test of the fully assembled watch that goes beyond the COSC. And once again, relates to the fully assembled watch as you're going to receive it and use it. You can see we have a column wheel here, crisp actuation. We also have a vertical clutch system for the chronograph, so it will always engage without any jump or stagger. And if you wish, thanks to the vertical clutch, there's no additional wear and tear with the chronograph running. You can simply leave it running with no hazard to the watch. 45 joules, you can see that right there. A full balance bridge and free sprung with an anti-magnetic balance, silicone hairspring, balance staff, and escapement, with the result being that this watch is anti-magnetic to over 15,000 Gauss or 1.5 Tesla. Speedmaster 57 written on the back right there. Good looking movement, nicely sized for the case, with blackened screws and arabesque Côte de Genève with engine turning on the base plate, and a machined but attractive bevel. Great looking movement overall, and lots to love right here. Unlike the standard version of the tri-level coaxial, which beats at 25,200 vibrations per hour, the chronograph version of the tri-level coaxial in the latest variant beats it 8 beats per second, 28,800 vibrations per hour, so you can better read the regular intervals of partial seconds on the dial. That's just easier at 8 beats per second. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.